Today, I want to tell you something you might resist at first. It might feel a little uncomfortable, but if you let it sink in, it can completely change the way you learn to grow and level up your life. If you feel stuck every time you try to learn something new, if you keep hitting the same wall again and again, the problem is not your talent and it is not your discipline. The real reason you are not getting better is simple. You've been working against the physics of your own brain. So before we go any deeper, I want you to drop one idea you may have repeated for years. The idea that doing something 10,000 times will magically turn you into a master. It will not. Repetition alone is not learning. Repetition without precision is not growth. If repetitions were enough, every security guard, every office worker, every person doing the same task day after day would be a world-class expert by now. And we both know that is not how reality works. The famous 10,000-hour rule sounds inspiring, but it is not what actually creates mastery. Experts are not built by time. Experts are built by a hidden accelerator inside their nervous system. There is a physical mechanism in your brain that decides how fast you learn and how far your abilities can go. And today, we are going to look straight at it. Imagine that everything you do, from typing to playing an instrument to reacting in a split second, depends on one thing: electrical signals running through the wiring inside your brain. Those wires are your neurons. And wrapped around those wires is a layer of insulation, like the coating around an electrical cable. This insulation is made of fat and protein. It is called myelin, and its only job is to make your signals fire faster, cleaner, and more accurately. Now picture a wire with almost no insulation. The signal leaks. It slows down. It becomes unstable. But when the insulation becomes thick and smooth, the signal shoots through, like it is traveling on its own private high-speed line. That is what myelin does. It upgrades the wiring inside your brain. The stronger the insulation, the faster your brain works. The cleaner the insulation, the more consistent your performance becomes. This is why two people can practice the same skill for the same amount of time and still improve at completely different speeds. They are not building the same wiring. One person is laying down a fragile path that breaks under pressure. The other is building a neurological highway that can handle speed, precision, and stress without falling apart. So here is the truth. Every skill you have and every ability you want to learn depends on how well myelin wraps around the neurons that control it. When you type, when you speak another language, when you hit a note on a piano, the signal only travels as fast as the insulation allows. And all your past effort has done just one thing. It has thickened or weakened that insulation. Nothing more. And this leads to the most important shift in your entire learning philosophy. Your progress is not decided by how long you practice. It is decided by how effectively you strengthen the insulation around the right neural circuit. Myelin is the real accelerator. Myelin is the real engine of expertise. And once you understand this, everything about the way you practice and the way you grow will start to change. Think about a world-class pianist for a moment. When their fingers touch the keys, the command from the brain to the hand moves so fast it feels instant. There is no hesitation and no second guessing. Now compare that to a beginner playing the exact same notes. The path is the same. The keys are the same. The muscles are the same. But the signal is slower. The brain has to double-check every move because the insulation around that neural circuit is still thin. The wiring simply cannot carry a fast cleaning signal yet. Speed is only half the story. The other half is consistency. Myelin does not just make a signal fast. It makes that signal reliable. If your practice is sloppy one day and focused the next, the insulation around your neural pots becomes uneven. It ends up thick in some spots and thin in others, like tape wrapped around a cable in a rush. That uneven insulation creates unstable performance. It is the reason you are brilliant one day and completely off the next. It is not luck. It is biology. The people we call naturals do not actually have magic talents. What they really have is extremely consistent myelin growth around the exact circuits that matter for their craft. They repeat the right action with laser-sharp attention. They protect that action from noise. They build the same path again and again until the insulation becomes so smooth and so uniform that the signal never stutters. That is the real foundation of elite performance. This is why Bruce Lee could move in ways that felt impossible to everyone watching him. His speed did not come from raw strength. It came from a nervous system that fired with almost no delay. He trained until the path between seeing an opening and launching a strike was so well insulated that it acted like a reflex. His famous 1-inch punch was not about distance. It was about the efficiency of a tiny neural loop. He could release full power across a very short path because that path had been reinforced again and again until it could carry a burst of force without a single leak in the signal. It means Bruce Lee was not training harder than everyone else. He was training in a way that unintentionally maximized myelin growth. He was not spreading his attention across 100 things. He was drilling the smallest useful unit of movement over and over until that one circuit became a high-speed track. That is the essence of the cable wrapping method. You identify what matters most. You give that tiny motion your full attention, and you repeat it at a level of accuracy that tells your brain this signal is critical. Once your brain receives that message, it begins to thicken the insulation around that path. Not randomly and not slowly. It thickens the exact spot you keep lighting up. And that is when your ability starts to accelerate in a way that feels almost unfair. You are not just practicing anymore. You are building a faster brain.